If you're familiar with the Mario and Luigi series, you'd know that there's a ton of races that the bros have met throughout their adventures. Every game, with a few exceptions, introduces a new race with a distinct theme, background, and personality, which gives every entry a certain charm and identity of its own. And Superstar Saga, being the weirdest and silliest title out of all the games, brought a bunch of strange yet quite interesting races to the table. So I thought it would be fun to take a look at these races and make a video about them. Originally, I was going to make a video explaining all the races from the series, but let's just say my potato laptop wanted to blow up because of the amount of editing. Sorry. But anyways, let's get into the video. The game takes place in the Bean Kingdom, a kingdom with beans, more beans, and most importantly, bean people. The first race we're taking a look at is none other than the Beanish, who are the main inhabitants of the kingdom. They are basically the equivalent of toads, but instead of being based on mushrooms, they're based on beans. Why beans specifically? Because Alpha Dream was drunk when they were creating this masterpiece of a game. The Beanish have green skin and leaves on their heads, and some of them have a huge mouth, which I found to be kinda creepy. And one interesting thing about them is that they can live for hundreds of years. There isn't any information regarding their lifespan, but Bubbles, who is a Beanish, mentions that he has spent over 1,000 years cracking jokes to please the Chocola Reserve, which means that Beanish people can live for a very long time. Now, there's 3 variants of the race. There's your average Beanish guy, the Bean troops, which are just normal soldiers, and then there's Peas, who are just smaller and cuter Beanish people that serve Queen Bean. These guys are not the first to ever inhabit the Bean Kingdom. Instead, it's the Soybean civilization, which is supposedly related to the Beanish. We don't know much about these guys except for a few things. 1. They are an ancient tribe / civilization. 2. They were incredibly short with their height being mini Mario's height. 3. There were a lot of variants, some of them being the Spin Bean, Mole Bean, and Dash Bean, which I couldn't find any information about. 4. They're the ones that built that one platform that lifts you up to Little Fungi Town that is inhabited by toads, which means that the Bean Kingdom and the Mushroom Kingdom have been in good relations for ages. And 5. They have left behind ancient treasures known as beanstones, which can be found hidden underground. The second race we have is Hoohooligans. Their name is made up of 2 words. Hoo doesn't mean anything, and it's simply a word that mimics the sound of laughter, while hooligan means a rowdy person. They're more of a calm and peaceful group than noisy in my opinion, but okay. They have green skin just like Beanish, hair that can either be orange or brown, and a cactus-like body, and they live in their own village called Hoo Village. Now, their ancestors, the Hoo civilization, are kind of interesting. They used to write jokes on walls, for some reason. What's interesting about these jokes is that they're written in a totally different language. They were written using a pictograph called Hoohooligans. But what stands out about the Hoo civilization is that they're the ones who created Hoohooros, who's the ancient stone guardian of the mountain. You know, that one boss you fight in the game. So they were a pretty intelligent group. Now let's talk about the different types of Hoohooligans. The only variants we know about are the normal ones from the Bean Kingdom that I just talked about, and Huskies, who are brown Hoohooligans with some small Russian element sparkled in. The word ski in their name is basically a Slavic suffix, and it's a pun for Rusky, which is a slang term Russians use, and it simply means Russian. Now these guys were introduced in Dream Team, and the story takes place in Pillow Island, and interestingly enough, it seems like Huskies have their own history there. In Mount Pajamja, there's multiple statues of ancient strong heroes and rocks with faces that resemble Huskies, so maybe ancient Huskies used to inhabit the mountain and had a lot more beef. Muscles and strength. I'm sorry, I had to include a massive Bros reference. Also, Huskies have a variant called Hooraws, who are just small Huskies with red pants and hair, but I'm not sure if they even exist considering they only have appeared in the Dream World. Moving on now to the next race, Winkles. Remember those guys? Winkles are snail creatures that live in Chucklehuck Woods, and there's not much known about them. The only thing they do is run a coliseum called Winkle Coliseum, where you can play a minigame called Chocola Bounce, and if you win the minigame, the Winkles acknowledge you and they give you the Winkle card, which is just a shell that grants you access to what they call the Winkle Realm, and it's a small area with nothing but a statue of a Winkle. It's most likely an idol they worship because, like, why else would it be sacred to them? Also, this is kinda out of topic, but something about the way they talk is very funny. They talk in a very direct and dry manner, like a depressed underpaid middle class worker on a Monday morning, that it just makes their dialogue funny to read. Let me just give you some quick examples. This is Winkle Coliseum. Surviving it is hard. Enter Winkle Coliseum and when Winkles acknowledge you. Winkle Coliseum ahead. Reception. Pay coins. Open door. You see what I mean? Alright, let's see what we have next on the list. What the fuck? Lagoon-dwellers, the weird fish-like creatures that wear bathing suits. Yeah, Lagoon-dwellers live in Guarhar Lagoon, and that's it, that's all we know about them. Weirdly enough, we only see like 3 of them in the game, and all they do is gossip all day. If they witness anything interesting that happened in the area or hear any rumors, they will gossip about it non-stop. The other Lagoon Dwellers are either alive and well and we just weren't able to see them, or they're straight up dead and those women are the only ones left. And personally, I think the second theory is the correct one. I wish we had a weird but cute race of birds. Awesome. Oho Jees are natives of Oho Oasis. They look like baby chickens / baby birds with a small yellow fluffy hair, and they come in multiple colors: red, blue, green, and purple. The word Oho doesn't have a meaning and it's just a sound that mimics the sound of laughter, just like the word who in Hoohooligan, while the full name Oho Jees mimics the phrase oh jeez. Now these guys are very weird to say the least. They don't know how to talk properly, just like a toddler, and they say some really weird shit that has zero meaning. And although they look like cute and squishy creatures that wouldn't hurt a soul, you should not let their appearance fool you. These little creatures are peaceful, okay? But if you make them mad or provoke them in any way, they will attack you exactly like a mentally unstable man that escaped a mental hospital. And one of the things they can do to someone that bothered them is turning that someone into an Oho Jees. Yes, your ears are not deceiving you. Another ability they have is healing others by singing, which is the only cool and normal thing about them. Oh, and by the way, apparently they shed their skin for some reason. Okay, so Kurakos are probably the most normal race in Superstar Saga. They are humanoid jellyfish with a purple face and yellow eyes, but for some reason their faces are black in the remake. Their name comes from the Japanese word kurage, which basically means jellyfish. And sadly, there is zero information about them. We don't know their history, their lifestyle, and not even where they live exactly. Which is pretty upsetting because I find their designs to be pretty cool. It would have been awesome to see an underwater civilization of jellyfish people. And the final race from the game is a race that doesn't even have a name. The sailors from that one ship in Tihee Valley. I bet you forgot about those guys' existence. They are a skeletal crew that look like human skeletons, and they live in the middle of Tihee Valley inside of a ship called SS Chocola. And they talk with a stereotypical New York accent, so I guess they're originally from New York. Okay, so what's the story of these skeleton guys? Why are they dead? Well, a long time ago, the sailors were shipping Chocola-Cola, a popular drink in the Bean Kingdom, and at that time, Tihee Valley used to be an ocean, and oops, they hit a rock or something, the ship sunk, and they died. And they've been inside the ship for so long that they became skeletons and the ocean turned into a valley, which is kinda sad if you think about it. I mean, just think about their wife and kids. But do you know what the funny thing is? They don't know that they're fucking dead. But don't worry, Mario and Luigi killed them in the game afterwards. So, now they're dead. And yeah, that's all of the races from Superstar Saga explained. Have a good day, I guess.